Hi everyone, welcome to Halo Zone. My name is Lead Assassin, and welcome to the third episode of my Halo Wars 2 Let's Play. Now, this episode is going to be a little bit on the shorter end, thankfully, because this mission didn't really have many cutscenes, which kind of surprised me. So, without further ado, let's get started.
The intelligence we captured at Decimus's base indicates the Banished are using something called the cartographer. What can you tell us, Isabel?
The cartographer is a map of everything on the Ark. That means Atriox could use it to locate key systems and weapons on this installation.
Isabel and I have been going over the data from Decimus's base, and we found a way into the cartographer, but it's not going to be easy. The cartographer's defenses make it almost impenetrable. The only way up to it is by a Forerunner elevator. If you can get access to the local Forerunner control towers, I can take control of the elevator and take us up. It's our only chance of getting inside.
We'll have to take it. We need to hit the Banished again before they find out what we discovered at their base. Get to the cartographer and find out what Atriox is planning. Be careful. The Banished may still have traffic moving along the route.
Coming in now, sir. Okay, listen up, team. You've all been chosen for this mission because you've seen plenty of action. We can't send a large force in without alerting Atriox to our presence. So I need the best. Hoorah! Scout the area. The Banished may still have troops moving along routes near the cartographer.
Alright, here we are. Our mission now is to acquire 3 Forerunner towers to get the elevator working. And this mission, I was kind of happy to see they let us have a little bit more vehicles to play with, a little more use to play with, and really let us see how energy works in this game. One thing I did find is pretty interesting is that in the original game, energy was just basically how many generators you had. So it wasn't really a number that affected gameplay, but as you'll see later on, and as you see here by the fact that there's these little yellow cells which are energy as opposed to just our supplies, vehicles and units will take a mix of energy and supplies, which definitely was very interesting. I definitely think it's very interesting to see that something actually destroyed the Banished here. And, you know, we've just had this giant indoctrination of the Banished being like, you know, these guys are so scary and so, you know, strong that even the Covenant couldn't stop them. Yet here we are in Mission 3 seeing that something definitely had their way with them. So it's a pretty interesting way to start this mission off, and definitely is very telling as to how strong certain things are, especially since we've actually already faced them in the Halo campaigns. One thing I do find funny is the fact that throughout this, the Cyclopses are considered to be anti-vehicle weapons, and you're going to be seeing a little bit later on here that while they are anti-vehicle, certain vehicles you might want to steer away from. He's kind of like tell you like Cyclops are strong anti-vehicle units, and these vehicles do look really cool. They look like kind of modified brute choppers. And one thing I absolutely love from Halo 3 is the brute chopper. So if we can see that make come back, I'd be all for it. I like how they gave the little Spartans Halo 5 abilities. Here we have a ground pound, basically. Kill the brute there. Thought that was kind of a neat touch to add to it. As we're going through, and before we get to the actual base part of the game and of this mission where we start worrying about the towers, I do want to mention a really big news article that just released actually today. And that is the fact that Joe Statten has returned to Halo. Now I forget what his actual official role is. I'm actually going to look it up really quick here. But for those of you who don't know who he is, he actually worked on the original Halo trilogy, Halos 1, 2, 3, and 3 ODST, as someone, I believe he worked on the story, if I remember correctly. I don't know if he did like the in-game dialogue writing or the cutscenes. I can't remember what exactly he did. I do know that he wrote one of the Halo books, I believe. I'm not sure exactly which one, so please don't hold me to that. But I do know that he did write at least one of the books in the Halo story. Oh, here it is. Starting up, my Cyclops up there is about to get absolutely wrecked by a Wraith. Now, I know Wraiths are kind of strong, but when they said they were anti-vehicle units, I was kind of hoping my one could handle the Wraith, but as you see, that wasn't quite the case, and my Cyclops got absolutely decimated up there. But as I was saying, you know, he is someone who is from Bungie's time at working in Halo. He's someone that all the community really does like, and I'm very happy to have him on board now. The position he actually was given is Campaign Project Lead, which I know we've had some people leave the project, some leads. I wasn't quite sure what their exact title was, but seeing someone be added to that title this late in the game, considering the game was supposed to come out 3 months ago, that's a little bit concerning, not gonna lie. So hopefully this is just good news for the Halo Infinite, good news for the community, and hopefully this campaign will be the best it can be. And as you see, apparently what destroyed the Banished was actually the Forerunner Sentinels. Things we fought back in Halo 1, 2, and 3. And though they could be a pain, they never seemed to be that much of a threat. Not only that, but the Sentinel Beam itself was often looked at as kind of a bad weapon in Halo 2 and 3, I know. But kind of interesting to see that, you know, in the campaign universe, they definitely gave the Sentinels some kind of firepower there. It made them be a little scary, like, hey, if you're messing around here, those Sentinels can really do some damage to an armed force. Alright, now here we're about to get our main thing here, the 3 towers. I believe we had a bunch of suicide grunts there running around. And you see each group is guarded. And one thing I didn't know but ended up being pretty cool is that this is kind of going to act like a multiplayer match in a way. You know, as I'm capturing the bases, the Covenant will also be capturing bases. So that is kind of neat. I don't know if there's a failure condition if they capture all 3, you lose. I'm not quite sure if that's a thing. But I thought it was kind of neat. I just figured that they would already be captured by default by them. So that kind of caught me off guard. Here I figured I might as well destroy some of their things, since that usually is some kind of side objective. Here I start with my base building. You know, I wanted to make sure I had enough resources. I also wanted to see what exactly we were able to build. You know, this time we were able to build a air base, a barracks, and a garage for other vehicles. So I'm glad we were able to have the air pad, have the garage, the barracks, and we were actually all able to buy upgrades for the main soldiers too. So they're slowly but surely giving us more to play with. And you see here, they are attacking our base, which, like the last match, is something they're going to be doing. Luckily, we don't have to worry about any like leader abilities attacking our base this time. But they will have patrols that come to attack the base, especially when I'm not expecting it. So it's a really cool mission of balancing building a big enough crew to take the towers, making sure you leave people behind to defend said towers, and leaving enough of a crew to defend your base too. So here I'm just going through building my base. I try to have one barracks, one airbase, one garage, and then just use the rest for supplies and generators. They definitely did give quite an attack here. I wasn't quite expecting to be so aggressive right at the beginning. But I'm able to weather it without too many casualties, I believe. Alright, so now that I've started upgrading my base, built a little bit of an army, I'm going to finally decide to attack one of the bases. And I'm deciding I'm going to go from left to right. Now I was really surprised to see that after destroying this mini base here, I was given the ability to make a second base already, be it a small one. This first base here, I like how one of the mechs will just stand by and will capture the base even if other people go to attack. One Cyclops will stay there and make sure it's capturing the base, which is cool. I see that my guys are getting destroyed a little bit, not doing too great. But we're slowly but surely taking them out. And at this point, I don't know that they will be fighting to take back the bases, but I do actually leave a small human force in the little garrison that's there. So I learned my lesson from last time. I'm not leaving any flamethrower guys in there because I saw what happened last time, and I learned from my mistake. Though I do bring quite a bit of Hellbringers, I try to bring a very balanced force. I bring a bunch of Marines, some of the Hellbringers, and a majority of course, Warthogs, Cyclopses, and Hornets. Here I actually learned that we've learned the ability to unlock new leader abilities. Now I don't believe I actually use too many of the leader abilities during this mission besides heal. I might use the archer missiles at one point, but I can't quite remember. But first base, we are taking pretty easily. We don't lose too many people. And, you know, so far it's looking pretty good. Not too much resistance. Everything's going pretty fine. And as you see also, right near the ABC, you see that basically the way this mission is playing out is once that bar fills up, the mission is over and you win. Which is why I do wonder if the enemy is able to hold the bases longer, if you can actually lose by losing out on the points. So, actually really plays a lot like a multiplayer match, which I really didn't expect. And here I'm putting the Marines in the garrison, just making sure that they're up there, they're safe, and they're able to kind of defend the base there. And I only did that small area of effect because I wanted to make sure I left some people behind at this base, because I had the sneaking suspicion that they would be attacking. I also brought this small force here because I wanted to make a mini base and start having them pump out some either vehicles or people, just something to help out. Now my first group I have going to be, I don't think it goes too well for them if I remember correctly. I know at one point I do lose a force at B, unfortunately. But you see, they're not really engaging from the distance that Wraith is. Unfortunately, it can hit me, but my Wraith wasn't doing much. Here's where I find out that they can also take bases too, which I was not expecting. And luckily, my people at B are doing okay. Maybe it's C that I lose my first group of people. And here I see that we can finally actually learn the grenade throw ability, which I'm not sure if I really utilized too much in this mission. Just due to the fact that I like to usually use all troops or all nearby troops, and if you do it with a Warthog in Halo Wars 1 at least, they tend to ram things and hurt themselves. So I'm a little hesitant to hit the Y button when I have all my troops selected, especially because I like to use Warthogs. Here I saw they were attacking B, so I let them deal with it there. I have this small little tiny skeleton group of one Warthog, one Hornet, and one Cyclops just kind of guarding A, now that I've seen them move on B from C. I decide to have these guys kind of scout out and go after C. And then I decided to bring the main force in as well, after I give them a little bit of healing, because they've been dealing with quite a bit of attacks. Alright, I've decided to finally push on C from B. My little tiny squad sent up there didn't go too well, unfortunately. But we have these guys coming in to kind of mop up what they didn't. And here I actually do use, I guess, one of the new leader abilities on these hunters here. I'm not quite sure how it works at first, so I kind of canceled out and you just absolutely destroy them, which is pretty fun. I'll definitely be using this in future videos. Could just absolutely demolish the hunters. Now, fortunately, while I'm left B for C, you know, my people didn't run into the new Covenant base, and I don't know where this other Covenant base was, but apparently there was one that was able to reach B without running into me. So now I'm a little concerned. I'm looking all over like, okay, you know, where are these other Covenant people coming from? But I've also taken a fair bit of loss here too. Now I'm down to 55 out of 80. And I definitely have more than enough supply and energy to make some more units. Like I said, I tried to have a fair balance of pretty much every kind of unit, so no matter what I run into, I can deal with it. See, my one little group I sent in there to deal with B, it didn't go too well for them, unfortunately. And really only my Spartan and 2 Hornets are left here, so now I'm kind of just playing more on defense a little bit. I want to make sure I keep the 2 bases I have safe while I build up more of an army to come back and attack B. One thing I'm having a hard time figuring out who's saying that they're getting a pounding from artillery. And I finally figure out, I guess it's these guys over here getting shot from their little wraith. I like how I just kind of stayed right out of view. And as I go back to my base, all of a sudden we're just getting absolutely attacked by, I believe those are hunters there. So we have hunters, we have one of those chopper-like vehicles, and we've also engaged on people here. So I'm guessing this might be one of the small bases where some of these vehicles are coming from. Unfortunately, I don't think my little group here gets out alive. But because I was building such a big force, these vehicles and hunters here aren't able to do much to me. And they really don't destroy much of my base at all. Unfortunately, we lose my little guys there, but we do have some people watching A, and we have some people at every base, so pretty much at this point, it's just waiting for the bar to fill up, and we're good to go. We did this mission a lot faster than the other two, which is good. That means hopefully I'm getting a little better here, and hopefully things go pretty smoothly like this from here on out.
Good work, team. We've got a clear route to the cartographer now, and you heard the Banished Wraith production at the same time.
Feels good to have another win, sir.
It may be a bit early for celebrations, Jerome. Let's wait until we find out what Atriox has been planning at the cartographer. Another victory, team. Congratulations.
Alright, and with that, we have completed the mission. It'll be very interesting to see what Atriox has up his sleeves and what we can find out at the cartographer. One thing I hope is we don't have Anders getting kidnapped again, because if you've played the first Halo Wars, you know she has a problem with that. Like I said before, we did pretty good time-wise. We were only a minute 52 off the par time, so that was good. But unfortunately, we only got a bronze, so probably our worst score so far. And hopefully we can work on that. Like I said, I'm not the best real-time strategy player. And let's see, we missed quite a few optional objectives here. We're a little close to some of the Cyclops kills, but maybe I'll work on getting more kills next time. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you're enjoying this, like, comment, and subscribe to Halo Zone, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time.